and welcome back to Losing My Agenda podcast. We are joined with both Mr. Vincent and Tim. How are you guys?
Yeah, not so bad, Tommy. How about yourself?
Yeah, not three bad. Not three bad.
Oh,
Mr.
God,
Vince, how are
still
you?
on that thing.
Bloody
Oh, yeah.
marvelous.
Marvelous. Oh, that's good. That's good. Before we kick off today's episode, have we got any exciting news from either of you two? Nothing. I'll take that as a no then.
Oh, no, I do have some exciting news, I guess.
Yes. Yeah.
For the first time in, 3 years, 4 years, I'll be going back home to visit family at the end of June, so that's exciting.
Hey.
Yeah, you got everything all locked in, your flights booked and everything?
Flights are not booked.
Oh, okay.
But-
So you...
I've got the time off to be able to go over and see them. That's the main thing.
I mean, look, that's a start.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess it is.
Yeah. Yeah, you might want to jump on those flights, though. Or are you just
Yeah.
planning on swimming across?
I was going to swim across. It'll probably take just as long, given the fact that I have to stop over in Auckland for 4 fucking hours.
Oh,
But hey.
no.
Who wants to go to Auckland?
I mean, I've never been.
Neither have I, but who wants to go to Auckland?
I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't
Even
say
Auckland,
no.
even Auckland is 1 hour of Auckland.
Is Auckland really that bad?
It's just the North Island, that's all.
Oh, so you're still hung up
Yeah.
on the north-south thing.
Oh, yeah. I'm a southern boy through and through.
I suppose that's a bit like Queensland and Victoria, really, or Australia and Tasmania.
I have literally been called a Mexican by a New South Welshman before, so
Really? From New South?
Yeah.
I expect that kind of talk from Queensland, but I don't expect that from New South Wales. Because I had a mate that moved up to Queensland for a while, and he used to then refer to us as Mexicans, despite the fact that he was originally from Victoria.
that's beautiful.
Yeah.
You can't make that shit up.
No, you really can't. And look at that. We are how many minutes into recording and we are having major technical difficulties already.
Rip.
Wow. What is going on? So there's a reason why Tim is not currently saying anything. In our video chat that we are having, he has... Oh, no, there's movement.
Am I there?
you... Oh,
Am I back?
Tim's back again.
I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened.
You were talking about the north-south beef, and then all of a sudden you froze.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. You guys froze, audio disappeared. I don't know what happened.
Whee, your laptop's just
Maybe-
having a bad day.
Maybe you need to not view the cameras. Maybe not view the video. Maybe that will help your
Just
audio.
turn everything off.
Just
I'm just
Yeah.
going to shut the laptop down, and I will just talk to you over the phone. I'll actually go get a landline. That might be more helpful than just trying to do this right now.
well, let's be honest. If you can hook up your headphones and your microphone to your phone, and you just get like a little phone stand thing, set that on your desk, and then open up Skype that way, that would probably be a lot more stable than using your laptop.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on because I just lost most of the audio.
Yeah, you're cutting in and out now. And he's gone. Looks like Tim's gone again. That was quick.
Well, now it's
So
just you on
Vince-
the stream. Hi.
It's just, I've got nothing. No, he's got nothing. He's got no audio. Oh, wow.
This is going really well.
Yeah, this is, okay. Wow, this is brilliant. This is amazing.
This is prime time Twitch.
It really is. Let's be honest here. Okay, so Tim is going to leave and jump back in. He did say, before you jumped on, Vince, he did say he had to restart his laptop 3 times. So I think this is going to be number 4 of restarting his laptop.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
I'll be back.
Oh, you're back again. Hi. Bye. I don't know what you're doing. Have you got it on your... Have you tried it on your phone? No? Oh, okay. Download Skype on your phone. Use your phone. It'll probably be a lot more stable.
I should have made a technical difficulties thing.
Yeah, you probably should have.
Oh, well.
Because with Tim's laptop/internet situation, it'll probably come in very handy. We'll probably be using it like half a dozen to a dozen times every stream. And when we record 2 episodes in one day, double it.
Jesus.
I don't. Is he? He says he's jumping off, and he'll be back, but he hasn't closed. I don't. Is he closing Skype? I don't know.
We'll
I don't
never know.
If
No,
you can
it-
hear me, I have closed Skype.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
What?
I have closed Skype, and I can still hear you, and you can still hear me.
Yep.
Are you kidding?
No,
How?
I don't know, and it scares me. I don't understand what's going on right now. Somebody help me.
That's a bit like last night. I turned off the TV downstairs when we were getting ready to go to bed. I turned it off. I walked away. I made it to the kitchen, and then all of a sudden, the TV starts making noise again.
Ghosts.
What? Okay, so
Okay, so I don't know now.
don't touch anything. Whatever you're doing, just hands up. Don't touch anything.
Okay, hands are up.
Yeah, there they are.
Okay, so you can still see me because my camera is definitely on. I don't know what's going on right now.
Yeah.
I have closed Skype. If I can share my screen, you'd see that I've closed Skype.
Yeah, if you tried to share your screen, your entire computer would just die. It would sprout legs from the bottom and leap off of your desk in an attempt to unalive itself.
I've somehow opened up windows on my browser tabs on my browser. I don't know how I've opened them.
But you've opened up Windows.
No, I've opened up tabs on my browser. I don't know
right,
how I've
yeah.
opened up the tabs.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy shit. Whatever. Okay, so your internet has caught up and you're at multiple frames a second now.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
okay.
more than 5.
Skype has just opened up again.
What? What do you mean? Okay, and now your camera is degrading. So Skype just opened itself up and you're now frozen. Oh, he's gone.
He's gone.
Oh, that was like a whole thing there. That was a whole ass thing right there.
That was a big ass thing.
It was. I have no idea what's going on. I'm very confused about that.
Yeah. Well, he's definitely gone now.
Yes. Let's see if he can rejoin and then minimize the Skype window. Maybe that will work if he minimizes it.
Oh my god. What have you
What?
done? Can you see the stream?
No, I haven't actually got it open.
So because
not watching
Skype is a giant turd, oh dear.
Oh, everything's going to be out of whack. The whole video thing, yeah?
That, and when you typed that message, it took over the entire screen.
What?
Yep.
What? What do
The
you
entire
mean?
Skype window was just try and rejoin in black with a blue background.
Okay, so am I back audio-wise?
Yeah, and video.
And video. Okay,
I
don't
can
know.
see you. I
So
don't want to, but I can.
I obviously closed Skype, right? And then somehow it just randomly caught up and closed eventually after nearly 5 minutes of having been closed.
Yeah, that's bizarre. I don't know what have you minimized Skype?
So I've just got a nice little picture of you, Tommy, in the top corner of my screen.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, okay. So I wonder how long we can keep this going for today if you don't touch your computer.
Yeah, well, that's the thing.
Oh, actually, no, you need to. Shit.
Why does he need
Yeah,
to?
Well, because we're discussing urban legends today.
I do have a phone though.
True. If you use your phone to look up the information that you would have looked up on your computer and those links
just
that you
close
sent.
absolutely everything else on your computer except for Skype.
Yeah, Skype should be the only thing open, and maybe even close that little tiny window.
Go into Task Manager and just end task on Windows Explorer. Like, you don't even open files anymore.
I'm just trying to see what I can actually close without losing everything.
Well, we really need to get you a new computer.
Yeah. Look, I've closed. It's what the hell is going on?
I don't know. Have you had a look at what you currently have in stock?
No, not yet.
I say that like you're a shop. What stock do you have?
Well, what we discussed last week was that this weekend I was planning on moving all of the shit that I have stored away into my freshly painted car hole.
Yeah, right, okay.
And then I'll be able to go through it all. But currently there's like a 65-inch TV box and two 2.5 meter long projector screens and a TV cabinet that I used to use as a bar and
oh jeez,
mic stands, light stands, a telescope, disassembled warehouse shelving. Like, there's just so much shit in the way of my like little storage section of my garage.
Wow. So it's going to be a few weeks before you get everything all set up in there then?
No, just take a couple of hours.
Okay. Okay, cool. That's going to be interesting.
I packed it away in a very intentional way, so it should be all right.
Okay, that's smart. You thought ahead then. It's good.
Guess
I
what,
like it.
guys?
What?
We have 3 viewers.
Really? It says 4 on my end.
Oh, shit.
Hey, and I'm not viewing, so we have viewers. Jesus.
Do not, Tim. Don't you dare open up Twitch. Everything will crash and die. Don't do it.
Resist.
Yes.
Resist the temptation.
I have no idea where you live, but I will find you.
I mean, it's in Frankston. It's not that big.
Is it Frankston itself, or is it one of like the surrounding suburbs where you just go,
suburb?
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
No, it is in Frankston itself. I am very easy to find.
Okay, sweet.
I'm the size of a small house, so I'm naturally easy to find anyway. But
all right, I will find a small house and I will kill you.
Start
if
wailing.
you open up Twitch. And stream it on Twitch because I have the capability with my phone to do that. I can do multiple things with my setup.
And
my computer is
somewhere
adequate.
between 3 and 4 people will then see it.
Yeah. 3.5 people will see this.
I'm surprised that anyone's seeing it right now.
Okay, seeing as we haven't jumped in on the actual thing, Troy has actually jumped in and said, some of us have to work today, Tom. Yeah, some of you have to work today, Troy. That's not me.
Get back to work, Troy.
Yeah, Troy. God damn it, you got 40 minutes left. You should be working. This is unacceptable behavior. Honestly, just unacceptable behavior, Troy. Oh, this episode is off to an absolutely smashing start.
This is a great episode so far, isn't it?
Oh, it really is.
Absolutely
it really
amazing.
Is. See, this is the kind of stuff that I assumed would be ideal and perfect for our episodes that aren't about a specific topic.
Yeah.
Yet here we are with a specific topic in mind going, okay, we're going to do this. We're going to do urban legends. And
Yep.
here we are doing whatever the fuck this is.
Well,
This is brilliant.
should we maybe try and
Yeah.
get started on something, or are we just gonna?
Oh, yeah, no, we will because, yeah.
Look, you
Yeah, we
haven't
will.
crashed in the last 5 minutes, so
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
that's a good thing.
I
For
mean, you
now.
are down to a frame a second,
Oh God.
but it's working.
It depends on your definition of working.
We can hear you, and that is my definition of working for your setup.
Great.
We can hear you. That's. Hey, look, I'm happy with that. Honestly, if we can hear you, I'm happy.
Maybe I should just turn the camera off altogether.
Look, that may not be a horrible idea.
Yeah, I know. It might speed things up a bit then.
It.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It really, as soon as I start touching anything, it's going to slow down anyway.
Yeah. Definitely.
Move the mouse a quarter of an inch, it'll just fucking lag everything out.
Yes, you're gonna slightly bump your desk, and then that'll be it. Everything will crash.
Maybe I should just pour this cup of coffee on it. Maybe that might speed things up a little bit.
Look,
I mean, it'll speed up needing to get something new to be able to record and stream from, but it'll speed something up.
like I said, download Skype onto your phone. Get a little phone holder from Kmart because Kmart now have this whole
I've seen those.
vlogging kits and shit.
I'm actually kind of thinking I might just do that. It's going to make life a hell of a lot easier.
Yeah, definitely. Just get the phone stand, chuck
Yep.
it around in landscape mode,
Mhm.
start the Skype call, have it facing you. You won't be able to see jack shit,
But
but
the
Hey,
irony
it
as
might
well,
move a little faster.
the irony
But-
as well of being in Australia is that your internet will probably actually be faster off your phone anyway.
Yeah, that's true, because, the NBN works really well, as we can all tell.
All right, let's do this. You've got 10 frames a second. Let's do this. Right now. Let's go.
All right, urban legends. I know a little bit about urban legends. Not a whole heap. I don't know what the difference between your standard legends are and what makes it an urban legend.
So I didn't really know a lot until I started looking into it.
Yep.
An urban legend is basically hearsay. The sort of thing where someone's telling a story and it's, oh, my brother's girlfriend's cousin's sister's uncle kind of thing.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are also about just like old school legends. Like I'm talking, like Roman, Greek, all those sort of stuff. It's got meant to have like a lesson to it. So a good example being the classic old, excuse me, the classic old Hookman story out of the States.
What's,
with the young-
what's
with
the
the
hook
young-
man?
With this one where the young couple go out on a date and they go to the local lookout make out point, and they hear the noise on around the car and they get scared. They're making out and then they get scared and they take off, and they halfway down the road they stop and pull over because they hear something rattling on the side of the car, and it turns out it's the hook from the Hookman who is coming to get them.
Oh, yeah.
And the lesson is, the whole, anti-premarital sex and all that sort of thing.
Yeah. Okay.
So a lot of them are based on, having these little wee sort of, stories to them of anti this, anti that, all that sort of thing.
Okay.
Which
So,
is
yeah.
effectively what a lot of legends are.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is there a difference then between the legend and the urban legend?
It's the modernization.
Okay, so urban legends are just younger legends.
Pretty much, yeah.
Right. Okay.
That's effectively what it is.
Okay.
So, I mean, like an old school legend would be, if you go into the story of, say, Oedipus.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, the story of Oedipus, basically he gets kicked out of his home when he was a young boy, comes back, does things with his mother so that he can become king, and eventually rips his own eyes out when he realizes what he's done.
The original motherfucker.
Yeah, exactly. So, it's an anti-incest story. And that's pretty much what all urban legends are. There is the odd few that go into, especially here in Australia. There's a lot based around cryptozoology. So things including, your drop bears, your yowies, your Tasmanian tigers, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, but the difference is Tassie tigers were an actual documented thing. There's video footage and everything.
That's the thing. The Australian urban legends, there is a lot of actual documentation of stuff, except for drop bears, which are just, a story about koalas, really. That's all it is.
Just an angry koala.
Yeah.
And not a koala bear, just a koala, because they're not a bear.
Yeah. I'm sorry, koalas.
Koala.
Without the bear.
Yeah. That's just the story that you tell Americans when they come over here.
Yeah.
Let's be real. It's a very, very niche story that is told to Americans.
Yeah. Or anyone, really.
What
What
just happened to my Skype? Did that happen on your end, Vince?
I just shared the evidence link, the first evidence link. Which you should hopefully be able to see.
Nope.
Nice.
I see a grey screen.
Woohoo! We're winning today.
Oh my god.
I love how smooth today's episode is going.
Yeah, because I got to say, Tommy, you're just you're kind of frozen in place right now on my screen.
Oh yeah, 100% your internet. Not gonna lie. So the story of Oedipus. Let's go back to that. Oedipus. Do you believe that Oedipus is a direct descendant of Sigmund Freud?
That would be a little bit hard, considering Oedipus was around well before Sigmund Freud existed.
That's why I said. Other way around. Sigmund Freud is a descendant of him.
Honestly, yeah. I'd buy that.
You buy it?
No.
It seems quite likely in my eyes.
Dude definitely saw incest and all that kind of shit where there was definitely none. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I mean, he had other issues. I don't think he should have been practicing at any point in his life.
And I feel like now that we're talking about incest, his spirit is getting stronger. He's about to rise from the grave. A bit like Freddy Krueger. The fear of Freddy Krueger is spread, and he grew stronger. The more you talk about Freddy Krueger, the stronger he gets. Well, maybe the more we talk about incest and Sigmund Freud and Oedipus, the stronger Sigmund Freud's ghost gets.
How did we jump to this point?
Because you mentioned Oedipus. And the whole Oedipus complex.
Yeah, I get it. Freud had an Oedipus complex.
Yeah, it did. 100%
I don't know how it was associating Oedipus, Sigmund Freud, and Freddy freaking Krueger. A child killer. I think they're slightly different, like...
a child killer and a motherfucker.
I'm not shocked by anything that comes out of Tom's mouth anymore.
I think it's still just too early for me to be thinking like that.
Yeah, look, that's a fair call. Fair call. I can't fault you on that. It is... I mean, it's 10:30 in the morning, so you should be ready for this kind of banter from me.
It's 10:30 on a Saturday morning. I'm a single man. I should be sleeping still.
No, it's too late. The day's almost half over.
And?
Fucking thanks, Dad.
Yeah. What else do you expect from me? Come on now.
Jesus Christ.
So, Australian urban legends.
Yep.
You mentioned the Tassie tiger.
Yeah, which
that's an actual animal.
An urban legend. Yes, and we've spoken about this before, haven't we? Like ages ago.
Potentially.
You can't remember. Good. That helps the story. We spoke about it ages ago. The whole fact of wanting to go and try and find where they've had these sightings, because there's been sightings of them. 10-15 minutes down the road from me, or half an hour max down the road in like some Lang Warren, those sorts of places.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
There's been sightings close to where I am. So
maybe we should go hunting. It's not like hunting for it. We should go hunting. Or I say hunting. We should go try and spend a night trying to find. Let's go investigate. Yes. And see if we can find a Tassie tiger, not in Tasmania.
I mean, because it's bound to have happened that they've made it to the mainland at some point. You know.
You'd think so. How would they get to the mainland?
Private zoos, private collections.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
Yeah, who's to say that a pair haven't escaped from a private collection and they've been out there this whole time, just slowly, not necessarily repopulating, but continuing the population?
On a scale of Elvis lives to Tasmanian tigers have made it onto the mainland, I feel like it's believable enough.
What, Elvis living or the Tasmanian tigers being on mainland?
Tasmanian tigers being on the mainland.
Okay, so just thought I'd check that one.
So maybe we should do this as one of our videos.
We should be. I've got night vision camera. We can get a heat, like a flare camera.
All right, cool. That's it. That's sorted. We're going to Langwarrin, and we are going to go in search of the Tasmanian tiger. Because I mean, people have been looking for what is it?
Big cats.
Yeah, big cats.
I have a story about big cats. I do actually have a story about a big cat sighting.
The Black Panther.
I swear to God, I had my own personal encounter with one.
Really?
It was early hours in the morning, and I was up around the sort of Springvale kind of area. Springvale, Dingley Village area.
Yep.
Driving along the road, this is early hours in the morning. I was dropping my ex-wife off at work. And as we came around a bend in the road, I saw, and it wasn't a dog. I know what a dog looks like at a distance.
Yeah.
I work with animals. I know what a dog looks like. I saw a cat move across the road. A big cat.
Cats and dogs also move very differently.
Yeah.
Just in the way that they move and
the way that which the tail sat, the shape of the tail.
Yeah.
It was a freaking big cat. I'm not talking like a Maine Coon or something, one of those big forest cats. I'm talking a big cat.
A Maine Coon looks like Fluffy, and they're like the biggest cat breed. A panther is not a fluffy animal.
No, this thing was not fluffy at all. And I swear to God that I saw this thing, up around the Dingley Village area. It was just
quite an urban area up there, so it's not like there would be a lot of trees and bushes and stuff to confuse.
Is there somewhere nearby that area that's quite
so where
foresty?
I saw it? There's farmland on one side, paddocks on one side, and it's where I think the quarry was on the other side of the road.
Yeah, okay.
And I mean, it's still a suburban area.
Yeah.
But yeah, like this thing, I actually had to pull over, have a quick check, because I was like, nah, it's like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm just seeing things.
Yeah.
So I had to actually pull over quickly. I looked back in the mirror. It was gone at that point. And then I even made a point of coming back the same way so I could have another look at it. And every morning after that, I took that same route. I only took that route because there was roadworks on the road I'd normally use.
Yeah.
So I made a point of for like the next 2 weeks taking that same route at the same time, just in case.
Wow.
But never saw anything after it.
I wonder how many sightings of Black Panthers do you reckon there are in Australia? Is it like a common thing, or is it?
It's a really common thing. I think there was even sightings in the last month.
Oh wow! Okay.
Most of them tend to be like up around the Grampians and those sorts of areas.
I mean, that makes sense because that's very forested and it seems like the natural habitat for a Black Panther.
Because the story goes, for those who don't know the story of the Black Panthers in Victoria in particular goes back to World War II.
Yeah.
And an American, one of the US military companies that was here, their mascot was a Black Panther.
Oh, okay.
And apparently it got loose and started roaming, the countryside, basically.
Of course.
But that's one of the stories behind it. That's part of the urban legend, I guess, is that's how they got here.
Yeah.
But, I mean, as we can see from the photos, from that one photo, they're pretty obvious. They
Yeah.
are a Black Panther.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. That photo that we're looking at right now, because I can see it now that
So can I.
Skype has decided to work. Do you believe that photo there is legitimately a Black Panther, or could it be something else?
So that I think is one of the actual Grampians Black Panthers. I would say it's legitimate.
So do you think that is taken up at the Grampians?
Yeah, I think that is one of the Grampians ones. Yes.
Right, because I'm looking at it and I can see the wire fencing behind it. Now I haven't been to the Grampians since I was a little kid.
Yeah, but you got to remember farmland and all that sort of thing around it.
Yeah.
Because these guys obviously aren't going to solely live in the hills.
No, well, I'm assuming they're going to be like lions and tigers, where they've got a large territory rather than just a tiny little spot.
If they're the main predator in that area,
which they most definitely would be.
Yeah, I mean they're going to have to start moving, slowly moving outwards so they can find more food.
Yeah.
So that's where my we'll call it supposed sighting because I couldn't confirm it.
Yeah.
Like that guy there, for all we know, he could have started off. I don't know. It's hard to figure out where he would have started. I mean, that area hasn't always been suburban, of course, or an urban area. So he could have come from. Where would the closest place be?
That's a very good question. I don't know.
Neither do I, but he's got to have a big range.
Yeah. Well, what's the average distance traveled of lions and tigers?
I couldn't tell you without touching a device that may or may not upset the current flow of things.
That's all right. Vince is more than happy to do it.
Sorry, what was the question?
Thank you, Vince.
The average distance traveled in a day by lions and tigers. If you can work that out into some kind of a Google question. Like just the average distance traveled, not the size of their territory, but just how far they travel in a day. Because then we could work out roughly what kind of territory that we're looking at for a Black Panther, like where it has possibly come from to get into Springvale.
So I found a reasonably good result, I think.
Yeah.
Although that can't be right.
Why? What?
4,000 to 6,000 miles?
What? In a day?
Yeah, let me find a better link. Here we go.
I was going to say, I think that might be just a little...
Maybe that's the size of the territory?
Your territory could cover 4,000 to 6,000 square kilometres.
Yeah, that sounds about right. It's probably Google skipping from one part of a paragraph to the next, as it likes to. This one says it's about 25 miles, with the maximum measured in this particular study 140.
Okay.
I mean that's reasonable.
Yeah, that's a lot more believable as well.
Yeah, especially if they're looking for food.
20 to 25.
Yeah. Okay. So is that their distance traveled in the day, or is that the size of their territory?
Average daily distance.
Okay. So if we base a Black Panther's travel distance on that, which I feel like that's a reasonable jump to make.
Yeah, definitely.
That's a pretty big.
That's a big range.
Because especially if you go with Springvale being the center point, and you go say, like that distance in all directions around that, because we don't know where it's come from to get to that point. So it could have.
It'd be interesting to try and figure out if it did exist, if I wasn't just seeing things.
Yeah.
Where it came from originally.
Yeah.
Because who's to say that it's just not continuously taking a path to, not that it's going to have a set path to going, but who's to say it's not just continuously traveling?
It could be, yeah. It could be roaming. Because there's not large groups of Black Panthers.
No.
There's, yeah.
That's the thing. They're only ever seen one at a time.
Yeah. So does that mean that they're not in a herd and that they're more individuals or what? Or is it
Panthers,
just...
I believe, are more individualistic.
Yeah.
Okay.
But even then, you'd expect occasionally for someone to come up with a picture or a video of a mother and babies.
Yeah, it's always just a single adult panther.
Yeah, which, I mean, if they are roaming, you would expect more than one. So a mother and her kittens.
Cubs. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
gonna go with cubs.
Yeah, let's just go with cubs.
Yeah, because it seems that house cats have kittens, and then
it's officially a cub.
Okay,
oh,
here
there
we
you go.
I guess lion cubs, yeah.
Yeah, I
Tiger
was going.
cubs.
Big cats have cubs. House cats have kittens.
I've never understood that.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just cause.
Yeah.
Fuck you. That's why.
When you don't know the answer, just cause.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. So apparently there are panthers roaming around Victoria, somewhere,
Yep.
possibly. Apparently there are thylacines or Tasmanian tigers still roaming
I
around.
like the use of the big word there.
Thylacine, yeah, definitely.
Well done.
Was it? Yeah, I did. I think it was the thylacines that I saw a Vice documentary, maybe, or something on YouTube. Actually, it was only maybe like a month ago or so. And there's actually like they've got a Facebook group for sightings, and all these people collect stuff from what they assume is like footprints and
dung,
poop. Yeah.
Yeah,
of these thylacines.
Like, aren't they actually trying to? Is it Healesville that are trying to work on bringing it back?
Have they seen Jurassic Park?
I think the thylacine is slightly less menacing than a full-size T-Rex or Velociraptor.
But have they seen Jurassic Park? Do
More
they
than
know
likely.
what happens when you bring extinct animals back?
What you get some sort of crazy nut job trying to steal embryos who then shuts down the whole system?
Yeah.
What? So you're expecting that this Tasmanian tiger is going to be what, 20 feet tall and
No, not 20 feet tall. I mean, yeah, who knows? No. Because what's going to, if they bring it back and release it into the wild to populate and grow and all of that kind of stuff, what's going to happen to all of the animals at the moment that are out in the wild? What's going to happen to like all the flora and all of that sort of stuff? Are they going to disrupt everything if they bring it back and release it into the wild?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, what would the major food source in Tasmania be?
I have absolutely no idea. I've never been to Tasmania. But for what is the main food source for a thylacine? What do they eat? Do they eat meat? Are they herbivores? Are they omnivores? And I think we've lost Tim again.
Nice.
That's wonderful. That is absolutely fantastic. So we got a solid half hour in there.
Yeah.
Okay, so Vince, you are now taking over from Tim here.
So
In this discussion.
thylacines are carnivorous, apparently.
Right, okay. So what was their main food source then?
I'm just
Should we
having a look at the moment.
Yeah. Some kind of a small creature, I would assume.
Kangaroos and other marsupials, small rodents, and birds.
Okay. I mean, let's be honest. In Australia, we have a little bit of a kangaroo problem. And now that Tim has left the chat, the Twitch stream is all
fucked up.
Yeah. All over the joint.
I've been betrayed.
Yeah, so maybe introducing them back into the wild, if there was a way to, bring the population back, maybe it won't disrupt everything completely.
And, the only reason why they disappeared is because of us, so...
Yeah. I mean, it's just looking at some of those photos there from when they had the last one, and it's just walking around on bare concrete inside of a cage. Like, that's fucking horrible. Like, I'm not a fan of zoos anyway, but that's even worse than a modern zoo.
There are ways to do a zoo correctly.
Yeah, like Werribee Open Range isn't as horrible. I don't believe.
Yeah.
That's not bad. That's open range. Animals are mixing, and they've got a decent amount of space where they can roam around and do whatever they feel like doing. But yeah, when you get places like the Melbourne Zoo where it's just this small little enclosure, no, I'm not a fan of that. That is not okay. Are we going to have Tim come back or what?
Great question.
This is... Huh. He really needs... We need to fix this.
Yep.
Maybe... I don't even know what we can do with this episode. Like, this is something else, really.
Yep.
But on saying that, I can see the screen that you shared
Okay, so something
on Skype.
started working.
Yeah, and which is so much better than me trying to watch it on Twitch with a massive delay. Because I did notice that with the last episode when we were watching the UFO videos, there was a huge delay because the video would stop, and then I'd still be watching it on Twitch, and it's just this awkward silence. So at least this way, I can see it. I don't know if I'd be able to hear it if you played something with audio, but
yeah. By sharing my screen, I believe you would be able to hear it. So.
Well, that's splendid. I can hear your bird.
Yeah, she definitely makes herself heard when she wants to.
Yeah, most definitely. Okay, cool. So what's the go? Tim's completely offline. So it looks like this is the... Oh, no, he's back. Just as I say that.
And he's back.
Wait, are you on your phone?
We can't
yeah, you got no audio.
Is that better?
Yes,
Hey.
we can hear you.
I can barely hear you, which is a good thing.
Oh, that's really good. So what I think you need is to get some kind of 3.5 adapter. So like 3.5 goes into your phone, and then two of them come off. So then you can plug in your microphone 3.5, or is a XLR or quarter inch.
USB.
That's not going to work.
No, it's not.
So it looks like this is how we do the podcast from now on.
Yeah, we can do it like
cam.
this. It kind of works.
I mean, you could probably put your phone down onto the desk somewhere, couldn't you? You'd stack it up on something.
Does that work?
Yes, that does.
Because I can't see my own screen right now, so I've got no
That's okay.
idea.
That's all right. You actually framed it really well. You're really well framed. Not gonna lie.
Excellent.
It's just a grey screen, Vince. On
Oh
Twitch.
no.
Oh, no.
It's right, I fixed it.
Did you? Yes, you did. Nice. So when you were gone there, Tim, we found out that the Tasmanian tiger was a carnivore.
Really?
Well, I didn't know.
With jaws like that, how could you not know?
I mean, I don't know what its teeth structure is.
Look at the jaws on. Look at the size of the head, the shape of the head. It is going to be a carnivore. Primary source is carnivore.
Yeah. Eating birds and kangaroos and other small creatures. So
Yep.
I don't know. Maybe its diet, if it was to be brought back, maybe its diet could consist of kangaroos, which are in abundance in Australia, rabbits, which are in abundance in Australia.
Wombat.
Are they in abundance? Are they a pest?
Well, they're not a pest, but
I don't think they're
it'd
endangered
probably go
enough.
after wombat.
Yeah. So maybe it won't make another animal go extinct. Maybe it'd be okay.
No, I mean, I'd say on mainland Australia, there's probably going to be more than enough food sources for them to not go, to have enough food, and B, to not make anything in particular, whether it sends them extinct or whether it sends the food source to near extinction. I don't think that's necessarily going to happen again.
Yeah. And those animals aren't a food source for anything else.
Yeah, that's the thing. There's no major predators.
Yeah. So that might be okay. It may work out. Who knows?
It might not. We don't know.
Yeah. Anything's possible, really. But I don't know. Maybe they still exist. Maybe they don't. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Well, I mean, like I said, there's been apparent sightings. You're out Langwarrin, out towards South Gippsland, those sorts of areas. So, if they do still exist and they are here on the mainland, then obviously they're not doing anything bad.
Yeah.
They're not wiping out a food source. The only thing that has me kind of suspicious about the sightings of them is the fact that there's no real evidence of, say, cattle mutilation.
Yeah, okay.
Farmers losing numbers of livestock.
Yeah, well, if there's only a very small population and they are focused, and they mainly eat kangaroos and they stay away from sheep and cows and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean,
who knows?
I suppose if there's other food sources, then it's less likely. And I suppose also at the same time, if there's only a few thylacine out there,
Yeah.
they're not, the numbers of, say, sheep, which would probably be the main thing that they go after, the numbers of deaths aren't necessarily going to be noticeable and would probably just be attributed to, say, dog attacks.
Yeah,
I did
dogs,
notice
dingoes.
on one link that I looked at when I was searching for whether or not they were carnivores, just for confirmation. Apparently, they did prey on sheep for like the early colonists' sheep quite a bit.
Yeah, okay.
I suppose at that time, though, the numbers of sheep going missing would be more noticeable because there'd be less sheep.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. How did they go extinct exactly? Like, what was the cause for it? Was it people just hunting them?
Overhunting, I'd say.
Fucking people suck.
Yeah, we do.
I think that's everyone. Yeah, people suck. That's our tagline. Because I think that's the thing that we say in every episode is that people suck.
That's the new LMA tagline. People suck.
Yeah.
Yeah, the demise of the thylacine is definitely attributed exclusively to human intervention through hunting, introduction of competitive species like dogs, foreign diseases like mange, and habitat destruction.
Yeah, fucking habitat destruction gets so many fucking animals extinct and currently so many animals endangered because of habitat destruction. It's fucked up.
Yeah, and that's all. That's what we do. We come in, we take over, and it's just like, yeah, who gives a shit? And then 100 years down the track, that's when we go, wow, maybe we shouldn't have done that.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's by the time that we realize that we shouldn't do something, it's too late to do anything about it. And we're stuck in what we've done. And we just have to go, all right, well, we did this. We fucked up. There's nothing we can do about it.
Yeah,
and
let's
people
create
don't learn.
Thylacine Park,
Yeah, people don't learn. That's the problem. Humanity does not learn from their mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
Which is...
Yeah, we're the worst thing to have evolved, really.
Yeah. Yeah, the world would be much better off without people.
Mm. Oh, I second that.
Again, I think we said it last week as well. The world would be better off without people.
Yep.
Okay, so moving on from the thylacine, what other urban legends? Oh,
just a quick side note on the difference between kittens and cubs.
Oh, yes.
Ooh, yep.
I see a lot of people claiming that it's because kittens purr and cubs don't.
Oh, okay.
But I don't think that's right.
That's an
I
interesting reason.
Anyway,
Very
I just thought I'd mention that because I see so many people claiming it. But yeah, I don't think that's right.
Wow. Okay, so let's go back to our list of urban legends that Tim, you got the link, and this is what you were using, and now you can't look at the link, can you?
I'm only seeing what Vince has up on the screen there. That's it.
Oh, so you are looking at...
No, on Skype, all that I can see is what Vince has got there.
Oh, okay, cool. Cool. Well, let's stick with creatures, then let's go with the Yowie. Now, the Yowie that I know is a delicious chocolate treat. That's the Yowie that I know.
So you don't know the Australian version of Bigfoot, then, is what you're saying?
Well, kind of, but not really. I don't know the ins and outs of it. I know the name, and I know that it's this apparent creature, but that's about all I really know. And then I know it's a delicious chocolate treat with a little toy on the inside.
Of course.
Yeah. So, what is a Yowie? What is the story of the Yowie?
So, if we go the more modern, most basic version, the Yowie is effectively, as I said, the Australian Bigfoot.
Okay.
The Australian Sasquatch, whatever you want to call
them. Okay. Do you think those things exist? Bigfoot, Sasquatch, Yowie, Yeti, whatever?
As I think we've already learned, I am a believer in this sort of stuff.
But there's got to be a place where you draw the line. Surely you can't just see a cryptid and go, "Oh, I believe it. It is true."
No, I'm not that sort of believer. I'm not a read the Bible and believe everything it says kind of person. I look at the evidence that's there, and there's enough evidence for me to at least go, well, yeah, it's quite possible.
So, what evidence is there that the Yowie genuinely exists?
Well, if we talk about the giant ape, giant humanoid ape as a whole, there is a substantial amount of evidence. Yes, some of it's been faked. Yes, some of it's questionable.
Yeah.
But the Yowie in particular, I wouldn't say I believe that the Yowie exists because there's not enough. There hasn't been enough people actually, look into it and gather enough evidence. Bigfoot, Sasquatch, yes, but the Yowie, there is a hint of doubt in my mind.
Okay.
Yeah, there's some of the stuff that you look at, like for instance, the picture that's attached to that link. All you see is a FLIR image with one shape on it, but apparently it shows two, and the fact that it could just be someone standing at a distance from the camera behind a bush.
So that's the problem. I think that some of the footage is definitely fake. Like that, the most infamous footage of Bigfoot is confirmed to be
footage.
Hey,
I think it's the Patterson footage.
Yeah, whatever it's called.
Yeah,
That's fake. Yeah. I'm just trying to find out the actual name of it. But there was back in the before humans and stuff when we had megafauna.
Yeah,
There was a giant ape-like thing that walked on its hind legs.
there was, I think, a giant, almost like an orangutan.
Australis picatus. What was? I
And
can't.
there's
I can't
also
remember.
the giant sloth that tended to walk on its back legs as
Yeah.
well.
So there are actual
Mm.
creatures that existed throughout history, a very
Yeah.
very long time ago.
Yeah, I mean, but then who's to say that, somewhere along, throughout history, they haven't survived? That's the thing. Or that
Yeah.
they have survived, I should say.
The thing that I find difficult to believe about all of these giant ape-like creatures is how have we not got definitive photographic video
Yeah.
evidence? There's no genuine evidence to go. It has to be this. There is no other option. It can't be anything else.
There's no clear evidence of it.
Yeah.
There's plenty of evidence, but there's no clear evidence.
Yeah. All the evidence that I have seen, you could easily go, oh, it's this, oh, it's that.
Yeah, there's a lot of it, even a lot of stuff that I've watched, I've looked at. There's these ones where apparently someone just happens to be going for a walk in a forest, just happens to pull their phone or their camera out, and just happens to catch this thing poking out from behind a tree. It's like, how often are you going to just be happening to be, for no reason at all, be pointing a camera in that direction?
I think for me to believe any of these, I'd have to see them with my own eyes.
Yeah.
It's
definitely one of those things where, unlike, say, paranormal evidence, where, you can go, okay, well, yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I think with something like this, even for me at least, yes, I do believe that they could and do exist. But for, in terms of the actual evidence, I'd have to see something, unbelievably clear.
Yeah.
Yeah, something that is just spot on. Literally this thing walking up to the camera and you can't tell that it's a suit or anything like that. It'd have to be that obvious.
Yeah.
For me to really accept it.
Yeah, and why do we have any bone evidence? Like
That's
skeletal remains?
That's one thing that I definitely wanted to mention, is that we should be able to find dead bodies or bones or any kind of DNA evidence, even droppings.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
And I think that's where they come up with the theory of they bury their dead.
What?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So they're a lot more human then.
That's one of the theories, is that the reason why we haven't found any skeletal remains is that they bury their dead either in the ground or in cairns.
Right, okay. So they're a lot more human than ape.
Yeah.
So they're kind of like the in-between.
Yeah.
Between monkey and human.
Mm. They have enough sense and enough awareness to be able to bury the dead.
Yeah.
But then they're still these ape-like creatures.
Yeah, it's a lot of these cryptids and everything. I struggle to be able to believe them. To be honest, yeah, it's just, I don't know. There's something about it that, yeah, I'd like to believe it. It would be cool if some of these things were real, like the Jersey Devil, the Chupacabra, things like that. Would be cool if they were real, but I just can't get sucked into it and believe it genuinely.
The Jersey Devil's another interesting one because the creature itself has evolved over time in the stories.
Yeah, and that doesn't happen.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't just Jersey Devil doesn't just go from being a man-like thing with horns to being something similar to the Chupacabra. It should stay the same way all the way through.
Yeah.
And not evolve or de-evolve in any way.
Yeah. It's they're cool stories, but I think that's where they end.
Yeah.
So they're cool stories. They would make amazing movies, and that's about it.
I'm pretty sure there's already a few movies about the things like Chupacabra and that.
Oh, of course there would be. There definitely would be. All right, well let's move away from cryptids.
Yeah, that's a whole nother episode there.
Yeah, well, I mean, what we've done now is they've all been animals and creatures and stuff like that. What are some non-creature related urban legends?
I mean, all of them are attached to some form of creature anyway. So I mean, you've got others like the spider bite, which is the one where, yep, that one right there, which is the one where
you turn into Spider-Man.
No, not Spider-Man.
Ah,
Sorry to ruin things for you, Tommy, but it's not Spider-Man. It's the one where the gender of the person changes, depending on the story and who's telling it, who's being told to. But normally, it's someone has particularly messy hair. One day they feel a sharp sting on their head. They brush the hair off, and spider falls off. A few days later, there's all these baby spiders crawling through their hair and coming out of their skin. And when the spiders bit them, it's somehow gone from laying eggs out of its backside to laying eggs out of its fangs, and the baby spiders are coming out of the skin through the bite wound.
Jesus.
You got things like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
That's metal.
Yeah, just a little bit.
That is metal as fuck.
There's that whole thing of having a listen to it. The lesson basically being you need to keep yourself clean and tidy. Which
wow.
I don't know how a spider bite and clean and tidy work together, but apparently.
I mean, if you've got messy hair and you're filthy and dirty, you're not going to know that there's creatures in your hair. I mean,
the thing is that it's always associated with the babies coming out of the bite mark.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
I'm not I'm not an entomologist, but if I remember correctly, it's not eggs that come out of a spider's fangs. I'm pretty sure it's venom.
Yeah, look, I don't think you need to be an entomologist to know that.
Yeah.
If it was a wasp, if the theory was about a wasp, wasps do all kinds of fucked up shit. I'd believe that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be
wasps are just nasty anyway.
Hey?
Wasps are just nasty anyway.
Yeah. They're like, the fact that they can sting you, and then they can sting you, and then again, and then again.
For no reason other than the fact that they're alive.
Yeah, exactly right. Other than fuck you.
Yeah.
Whereas at least a bee has to stop and think and go, hang on, if I sting them, I die by ripping out my fucking intestines.
Sting them, live. Sting, live.
And then you get other bees that are like, fuck you, I want to die. Sting.
Off topic, but can we do that thing that guy did to you, Tom, where he got all the worst stings and bites in the world from insects and gave them pain?
What's his name? Coyote something.
Yeah. Can we make you do that?
No.
Oh.
Yeah, no, I am not going to be putting myself through the pain of being stung by all sorts of creatures because that sounds fucking horrible.
Yeah, it really does.
I don't want to be doing my own fucking pain scale. No, thank you. I'll leave that up to the professionals.
What about scorpion sting?
I don't want to be stung by anything.
Why not?
Because it doesn't sound like a fun time.
I mean, it's not, but it'd be interesting.
Okay, let's do it with you then.
All right.
There you go, Vince. We're going to do it with Tim. Tim has just volunteered to get stung by a myriad of different creatures, and we'll see what the effects are. Excellent. Even though it's perfectly well documented and there's video evidence of it, we're going to do it anyway because Why
The
not?
different pain scales, you know? Come on.
Well, you always go on about how, oh, I don't feel pain. Oh, nothing scares me.
I do feel pain, but just I
Oh,
don't react the
you just
same.
don't sorry, you don't react to anything. You're dead on the inside.
Oh, I'm well and truly dead.
Okay, cool. Well, there we go. We're going to do that. We are
Excellent.
going to find all of these different creatures and we're going to get them to sting you and
I'm
bite
gonna
you
read this.
and whatever else happens.
Anywho,
It's done now. It's set. It's in.
damn it.
Okay, so that was still a creature being a spider.
Yeah. I mean, most of them are. You've even got Bloody Mary.
Bloody Mary is not well. I mean, technically, a person can be a creature, but that's I'm getting away from animals. That's what I want to do. Get away from the animals and insects and that sort of stuff, and get into urban legends that are not about that. They could be people. That's fine. I'm okay with that.
Yes, I mean you got Bloody Mary. Almost every culture has some sort of goat man. Is another one.
What's a goat man?
The goat man. You didn't have a goat man in where you grew up.
No.
The goat man mythos is basically he's this old guy who lives in a shack. Normally, apparently has goats. Hence the goat man thing.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes he looks a little like a goat. Sometimes he doesn't. And the story behind it is, well, the lesson behind it, I should say, is that you just stay away from a certain area. So, for instance, where I grew up, a little place called Littleton, we had a goat man there. And, the story behind the goat man was to try and keep you away out of the hills. Because there were, a couple of areas that were just a little, I wouldn't say, I don't mean dodgy as in like Frankston dodgy. I mean dodgy as in like, if you happen to fall over while you're there, you're not going to be found for a while.
Yeah. Okay.
This thing, almost to
Right.
protect you more than anything.
So the goat man's not like the creepy house down the end of the road, but it's
It's the personification of that house.
yeah. But like, so is it? Don't go near that house that's at the end of the road that you cross the street, go the other side.
Yeah.
Or is it
So-
don't go into the woods? Don't go.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
for instance, the goat man, where the goat man's shack was, which there was never a shack there as far as anyone knows,
Yeah.
was where the trail up into the hills, or one of the trails up into the hills actually starts.
Yeah. Okay.
So, you didn't go near there because, the goat man would get you,
Right. Okay.
which I think I mentioned, and you laughed your ass off at it. Me and a friend of mine from primary school,
Yeah.
we actually, we sort of investigated. We went up into the hills to try and find the goat man.
What was it? The Mystery Boys or something?
Yeah, the Mystery Boys.
I
We were in primary school. Come on.
don't
Cut
care.
us some slack.
The fact that you still remember.
But we were the
that.
only ones brave enough to do it.
Yeah. Look, did you go up in primary school?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that's that would be genuinely scary because primary school age kids tend to be like they tend to believe this stuff a lot more than your high school and out of high school people that have experienced the world and know that it's just a story. They would genuinely believe it.
Well, we did it. We went up into the hills, and all that we found was someone's grow operation.
Oh, sick. What? Okay. What was your plan going in there? Did you obviously you thought, hey, we're going to go find the goat man. What was going to happen after you found him?
I don't know. I think I was about 8 or 9 at the time, so it was nearly 30 years ago.
So you would have probably just legged it out of there and gone
I
home.
think part of the plan would have been we just take off as fast as we can.
Yeah, okay. Solid plan.
Downhill, over rugged ground.
Yeah.
All the really easy stuff to just avoid.
Yeah, where nothing could possibly go wrong.
Oh yeah, nothing. No broken bones or anything. Nothing major.
Yeah, I
And
never
like I
had a
said,
goat
we'd
man.
only be up there for a few days before anyone found us.
Yeah. So I never had a goat man story growing up. I never had any of this stuff.
I think the Goat Man is literally just, like you said, the house at the end of the street that you avoid.
Yeah, so I didn't even have that.
Personification of that.
Yeah, I didn't. There was no houses growing up. There was no houses to avoid. There were no weird old dudes wandering around town. Nothing like that. I just had. Apparently, I lived in some fucking Pleasantville area.
You must have, because we also had the house that you avoid because there was a pedophile that lived there, which it turned out that he was actually a pedophile.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, didn't have that. I mean, one of the teachers at high school is a convicted pedophile and went to prison, but that's high school. That's different. Growing up in primary school, we had none of that. I mean, I'll be honest, Vince, did you hear any of this stuff? Because you grew up very close to where I did.
I did end up hearing about the particular pedophile at your high school, yes.
Oh, okay. There you go. But did you hear about this Goat Man?
No Goatmen around the Dandenong Ranges that I'm aware of.
Yeah.
Everywhere has their urban legends. I mean, yet again, we'll go back to where I grew up. Another legend was there was someone that went missing. I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but this was like in the early 70s, maybe. They went missing, and apparently their body. Because I should go back and explain. Where I grew up was a small port town, like active port towns, and we had cargo coming in and out, fishing vessels, all that sort of stuff. So they had what they call the container terminal, which was literally just the control center for everything coming off the boats.
Yeah.
So apparently when this person went missing was right about the same time that they were laying the foundations for the container terminal. And the urban legend is that this person is buried in the concrete under the container terminal.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Never been proven.
Yeah.
But there is that story.
It's just, a story that's been passed down through the generations. And
once again, the whole thing of, as urban legends are meant to be, my sister's boyfriend's, cousin's brother, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. So, now we're getting into away from the creatures, which is good. Yeah. Far
so
out.
You don't have any urban legends from where you grew up that you know about?
Absolutely nothing.
You lived a sheltered life.
Clearly. Vince, we lived a sheltered life.
Actually, there is a bit of an urban legend.
From where?
From here in Victoria.
Yeah, but not where we grew up.
Not where you grew up, but here in Victoria.
That's what I'm saying. Like we've got nothing. Vince, what were you about to say?
Old,
where I lived when I first moved into the hills, into Tacoma, the house next door had a 4-meter diameter, gigantic gum tree fall on it. Absolutely flattened this house, right?
That seems pretty stock standard for that area.
Being a adventurous young lad, I would jump over the fence with my friends and go explore, and there would be, there were still plates set out on the dining room table and
Jesus.
stuff. So, as a kid, I always treated that place as basically haunted. That's about as close to urban legends as I got, I think.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. It's kind of sad when things are just left like that, where they're gone. Just gone. And the table's still set, and maybe there's clothes out somewhere ready to be folded and put away, or ready to be put on for the day, or whatever it is. And everything's just left as it is, and they've just gone.
Probably just didn't have insurance or some other issue like that.
Yeah.
And just because, insurance is for some reason everything, these people lost their house and everything that they owned, presumably.
Yeah. Wow, that's quite sad. It's because that's not. I mean, the haunted aspect of it definitely, but it was someone's house, legitimately.
It was someone's life.
Yeah, just gone in an instant, and that happens. I mean, it happened not that long ago when we had all those massive storms, and a lot of houses had trees fall on them all throughout the hills.
Mm.
So, yeah. Well, that just brought the whole mood down, didn't it?
Yeah, how about we just end the stream there? You know.
Thanks, Vince.
Thanks, man.
So, yeah, I get the sense that Littleton, with the stories that you've told,
Mm.
is that where R.L. Stein grew up as well? It seems like there's just all of these stories. You've got your imaginary friend that was killed on a boat that went into there. You got someone buried in there. You've got the Goatman story there. Like, it seems to be a hive of activity for all of these spooky stories from Littleton.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of them, and there's even ones attached to. Have you ever seen the movie The Frighteners?
No, I haven't.
God. So
I'm
The
sorry. I don't have
Frighteners-
time for movies.
You should have time for movies. That way, you know what I'm talking about. But the movie The Frighteners was a Peter Jackson movie starring Michael J. Fox.
Yeah.
The bulk of that movie was actually filmed in Littleton.
Well, I mean, that's where he's from. Like, he's from New Zealand. So it makes sense that he would film stuff over in New Zealand.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that a lot of what you see in the movie is filmed in Littleton, and it just adds a lot. There was even some stories attached, that came out after the filming of that. Like, where was it? The house that Michael J. Fox's character lives in the movie, they actually built that not far from the house I grew up in.
Oh,
And
okay.
that house stayed around for that set. So it was a fully, it was this half-built house.
Yeah.
They left standing for a good, probably 5 or 6 years after the movie was filmed.
Yeah. A lot of the time they just
That
leave.
site was haunted.
Why was it like genuinely haunted, or is it just
Just rumor.
okay?
Littleton's a very old, compared to the rest of Christchurch, which is the main city that Littleton's attached to, is a very old place.
Okay.
So you've got a lot of, the Māori were very active in the area back in the day. You've got a lot of the oldest cemeteries are in Littleton.
Yeah.
So there is a lot of that,
Okay.
which does help with, a lot of these sort of urban legends and, the spookiness of it all.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. It just seems to me like Littleton would be the perfect place for R.L. Stein to have grown up. I'm not saying that he grew up there. It's not a genuine question. Did he actually grow up? No, I know he didn't. But just the stories that you keep telling of Littleton, it seems like a horror writer could just base an entire fucking
The sort of place
series.
where Stephen King could hang out for a bit and get a few more ideas.
Yeah. Yeah, you could do like a kid series, like a series of horror books for kids based on that.
Very
Yeah.
easily. I mean, don't get me wrong, great place to grow up. When I was growing up there, it was safe as. But
Yeah.
there's a lot of creepiness to it. Like the primary school that I went to, which was also the primary school that my mum went to, and the primary school that my grandmother went to,
Oh wow.
is built on the site of the old jail. And if you go up to the playing fields, that was up behind the playing fields is what's known as the Littleton Botanic Gardens. It's only about, I don't know, 100 square meters worth of gardens, but
Yeah.
it's also the site of the old gallows.
Oh, far out. It just gets worse and worse.
Like,
Or
the
better,
place is
depending how
just
you
so
look at it.
full of history, and a lot of it, when you look into it further, it just gets creepier and creepier.
Well, I feel like we need to do an entire episode just on Littleton.
Oh, I could not come up with all sorts of stories. I could do my best to pull stories from my rather fractured memory, and there's just all sorts that used to go on there. Yeah, I think we'll save it for another episode, maybe.
Yeah, definitely. Because I feel like it's going to take up a full 2 hours, 3 hours, and it'll probably be a multi-part thing.
Oh yeah.
I feel like we barely scratched the surface in a full episode, and I mean, let's be honest, we had no intention of talking about your hometown at all. Considering we started with Tasmanian tigers, drop bears, thylacines, and are now talking about Littleton.
Yeah. Let's save that for another episode, eh?
So, what is your personal favorite urban legend? Do you have a favorite? I mean, this is audio format, and you thinking about it, and not saying anything, is going to be very interesting.
I'm just trying to think what that's the thing.
Okay, explain your thought process.
Well,
think out loud.
I'm literally just going through in my head all the list of urban legends, which is just phenomenal because you also go into the likes of there's a lot that come out of Asia as well, especially Japan. So yeah. I'm just trying to go through the whole list of a lot of the ones that we know out of Japan are either animes or movies that have been westernized, of course.
Yeah.
There's a lot to choose from. You've got your cryptids all across the world, your Bigfoots and Yowies and all of that kind of stuff.
Like
your mysterious
if I try
deaths,
to avoid the cryptids,
ghost stories.
I know I'm going to say the name wrong.
Oh,
the Legend of La Llorona.
I have no idea what that is.
What is it called?
So it's a Mexican urban legend.
What was it? La Llorona.
Yeah, I think it's LA space LLORANA or something. The Weeping Woman.
Gotcha.
Let's see. Yeah, Vince, you're on pronunciation for this.
Yeah, that's the one.
Llorona. La Llorona. Yeah, is that right?
That's the one. Yeah.
Llorona?
So her myth is quite sad, and I can't read the screen, so I'm probably going to get this a little bit wrong.
So it's a vengeful ghost who roams waterfront areas mourning her children, whom she drowned. Okay, is that maybe the inspiration for was it Bly Manor, the Haunting of Bly Manor, where you had the woman in the
there was a movie made probably about 4 or 5 years ago about this tale under the same name and everything.
Here we go. Oh, I can't read that. Vince, do you want to read the mythology for us or the origins or something?
Yeah,
please?
Sure. So, this beautiful woman named Maria bears two children. One day she sees her husband cheating on her, so in a fit of blind rage, she drowns the children in the river, which she regrets immediately. Consumed by guilt, she drowns herself, but because of the act, she's unable to enter the afterlife and is bound to roam the earth as a ghost, effectively, I guess, until she finds her children. And it looks like there are many variations depending on the region. Sometimes the children are illegitimate, and a few other little things like that.
Wow, that's a brutal story. Jesus.
But yet one of my favorites.
Yeah. Is it because it's so brutal that it's one of your favorites?
Yeah, and the fact that it's got to do with a ghost.
Yeah, I figured. I figured for you it would have to be ghost related.
But yes, it's probably one of my favorites of the lesser known ones.
Yep.
There's something to be said for urban legends that are this level of believable.
Yeah.
At least the origin, whether or not you believe on ghosts, but absolutely this has happened at some point.
Yeah. So I
Undoubtedly.
think one of the urban legends that I really like is red rooms on the deep net, the dark net, whatever you want to call that subsect of internet. Do you know?
Explain.
Oh, you don't know red rooms?
No.
Okay, so on the deep web, there apparently is finding any website on the deep web is very difficult because on the surface web it's just www.whatever.com.
Mm-hmm.
Very simple. Whereas you've got .onion, but it's a whole mix of letters and numbers, some capitalized, some not. So it's very difficult to try and actually find a specific website. But the myth behind red rooms are, and a lot of people believe that it's real, that people are kidnapped over probably in Europe, and then they are put into a room where they are on a live stream, and you pay X amount of Bitcoin to enter and be able to watch, and then anyone, you have to be invited in, I think, and then once you're there, you can then make requests, and there is someone there to do whatever that request is to the person that they have kidnapped.
It sounds almost sort of like movie Hostel in a way, really.
Yeah. I got a funny feeling that Hostel may have been based around this concept. Like they've heard about red rooms, because there's a lot of people that go, oh yeah, no, I saw a red room once, but I jumped out really quickly because I didn't think it was real, and I got scared or whatever it happens to be. Or I know someone that was invited into a red room and they hung around and this is what happened. There's plenty of stories like that, and a lot of people genuinely think that it's real. And it very well could be, because there's fucked up shit like that happens.
Yeah.
Like a lot of, like you look at the Cartel, they film a lot of their killings, and they wind up on the internet, on the surface internet. I've seen plenty of them, and they are bad. Like,
yeah, they're not nice.
It's not quick.
No.
It's definitely not quick. So the fact that they're on the Cartel stuff is on the internet for everyone to be able to see if you know where to look, and then you got this other subsect that is on the dark net or the deep web, whatever you want to call it, where you actually get to choose what happens to the person involved. It's so fucked up and morbid. I don't know if it's real. I hope it's not real.
I wouldn't be surprised.
But
all the stories I hear about, pedophilia and other horrible shit that exists on the deep web, and people actually get, arrested for it. Like, there's evidence of it left behind.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if something like this existed.
Yeah. Yeah. It's, the first one that comes to mind, like when you're saying what you just said then, is, I think it's titled Daisy's Destruction, which is like a 4-year-old girl, and this guy, I forget his name, but he's in prison at the moment. And yeah, he just did all of this horrible, horrible shit, filmed it, and then sold it online.
Yeah, I'm not Googling that, hey.
No, do not. Do not. I mean, I don't think you can find the actual video online. There's plenty of things you can find about the guy online, which is, so that's okay. That's not too bad, because it's just about him, and there's no actual, this is the child, this is what he did. I don't think it goes into great detail, which is good, because I do not want to know. No. I don't, because you can't unsee that shit. You can't unhear it, and that's the problem. You gotta when you're looking into all this fucked up shit, you gotta think, do I actually want to know? Curiosity is there, and you think, oh yeah, I really want to know. But once you know, then you know. You can't.
What the consequence is going to be for myself, for my mental health?
Yeah. I have read a little bit, and I genuinely felt sick. I just felt physically ill when I was. It was just an article somewhere about the guy. It's like, yeah, this is some of the stuff that he did, and this is what's happening with him. And I'm like, nah, I can't. I'm out. I just, yeah. He's one of those people that you hope get beaten up on a regular basis inside of prison, but not die. Just gets beaten up, goes to hospital, comes back, gets beaten up, goes back. Just constant loop of that.
It's constant cycle of having the shit beaten out of him and recuperating, just have it happen again.
Yeah, that's what I hope happens to him. And I hope he lives a very long life just to have that happen over and over and over again. That's all I want for him.
The things that are being done to him in prison would probably be pretty nasty.
Yeah, if he's not in solitary.
Yeah.
Which he very well could be.
Yeah, he'd have to be in some sort of segregation.
Yeah, there's no way they'd let him into Gen Pop. No chance.
Oh.
So, yeah, gee whiz. Well, I think we might wrap up the urban legends there.
Feels like we barely started on the subject.
I know. Well, we've been streaming for an hour and a half, so it's a much shorter episode, but that's okay. That's quite all right. Yeah. So, urban legends. I don't know. It's one of those things where I want to believe a lot of them, but I can't. They just seem very surreal. Sorry?
There's not enough information to actually believe half of them.
Yeah, not enough information, not enough evidence. And they also seem very surreal as well. Like they could only exist in a book or in a movie or something like that. They don't. They seem too fantastical to actually exist.
We should talk about things that are kind of halfway between, conspiracy theory and urban legend, like Mark Ultra and things like that. Sometime.
Oh, you mean MK Ultra?
Yeah.
Oh, Vince, that is a whole can of worms there in MK Ultra.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Whew.
We only touched on it slightly, but yeah, there's so much more to that one.
Yeah, did you listen to our conspiracy episode, Vince?
I think I skimmed through most of it.
Yeah, so we did mention it. We went slightly into it, but that could Unit 7. If we want to get into the war stuff, you got to talk about Unit 731. That's another one where I think a lot of urban legends have stemmed from MK Ultra, and a lot of legends have stemmed from Unit 31 because whilst they are so vastly different, with MK Ultra being more about LSD and controlling people, whereas Unit 731 I think is more about testing human capabilities and seeing the limits of the human body and what it can go through and still function.
Interesting.
Yeah. I think the one thing that stuck with me, because there's a movie about Unit 731 as well. I haven't seen the movie, but I've seen a clip. I don't know if this is just written for the movie, and I really hope it is, but it very well could have happened, where they froze a woman's arm. Completely froze her arm, and then smashed it with a hammer. Just to see what would happen, whether you could do that or not. Yeah. That, I don't know. I don't know if they actually tried doing that or whether this was just for the movie. But yeah, that was Japanese that did that, Unit 731.
Yeah, the Japanese and the Germans had a lot of dodgy experiments going on.
Yeah. But the thing about all of that is nowadays you got ethics committees and all of that sort of stuff to look at what the possible long-term effects are of all of these sort of trials and tests and everything. But without all of that, back in World War II, and with the Germans and Japanese, and all of these experiments that they did, you cannot deny the fact that we actually learnt things
Yeah.
that otherwise we may not have known.
That's the downside to it, really, is that we actually learn stuff.
Yeah, that kind of sucks, and it annoys me that as horrible and disgusting as these things were, we actually learnt things that we still know, like we have expanded upon now.
That's the really fucked up thing about the Second World and First World Wars. We developed as a species more technology through those two wars than probably at any other point in human history.
Yeah, war breeds innovation. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
That's all it is. War breeds innovation. It's sad. It really is quite sad that we have it takes a world war for us to be able to go beyond what we currently have and to create all of this new technologies and new weaponry and all of these things. Why can't we just do it outside of war? Why does it have to be military? Everything starts off as military. Internet started off as military. Like all of the technology that we have today that the general population, just civilization, uses, that we don't even think about, all started off as military technology and then eventually got spread out into civilization, and it's now normal thing. I think phones probably started off as military equipment, the internet. It's Why does it have to be like that?
You even look at going into space. The only reason why we went into space was during the Cold War.
Yeah. The only America just wanted to beat Soviet Union to get to space. Why can't we? What is it going to take for the world to come together as a whole, as one? Just go, we are one species. We are human. Let's work together. What is it going to take for that to happen? Because there's going to be so much that's going to come from that. If we can just put the differences aside, stop war, and just come together as one, the amount of shit we can get done is going to be phenomenal. Why can't we do that? Why?
It's like the thought experiment that I got you guys to do last week of how long do you think it would take human civilization, at our current technology level, assuming all other concerns aren't a problem, how long would it take to basically colonize the entire galaxy? It wouldn't take that long in the time scale of the universe.
Yeah, if we come together, we can get it done.
Yep.
We really could. Is it going to take some kind of extraterrestrial life form coming down to Earth and just being like, what the fuck is up, for everyone to then band together? Is that what it's going to take?
More than likely.
That's sad. It's fucked up. Because you look at what Russia are doing at the moment.
Mm.
It's just over a bit of land. Because they want to put Soviet Union back together. Because Putin wants what was, not what could be. And has launched this stupid fucking attack that has failed miserably.
Mm.
But I have seen that maybe he is deathly ill, has some kind of blood disease or something, and that's why he's suddenly launched this attack again. Because 2014 there was another attack, but this one just seems like he hasn't thought it through. Hasn't planned properly, hasn't expected Ukraine to go, no, actually, this is ours. Please don't. We're going to fight for it.
Expect the world to turn around and go, well, no, fuck you.
Well, Russia's fucked. At the moment, Russia is completely and utterly 100% fucked because they're running out of everything.
Yeah.
Because they're being cut off from the rest of the world. Even Belarus who originally went, yeah, sure, you can launch your attacks from here at the border. Even they are now saying, okay, no, we're done with this shit.
Mm.
You need to wrap this up because this is going on for too long.
Yeah, it's not going to be like their advances in World War Two.
No.
In World War Two, they were allowed to just sort of run rampant, but this time, no.
Yeah, everyone's just gone, no, this ain't on.
Mm.
And I saw a graph in the because it's like 3 months now, where the first, like, it's just a map of Ukraine, and it shows like the hotspots of where all the major fights were taking place, and it was everywhere. It was all around the borders, as they obviously launch the attack here and then close in, and then the next month, and all the hotspots just start migrating towards Russia a bit more, and then the third one, it's just in one little area in Donbass.
Yeah,
that's it. So what they thought was going to be, oh yeah, we'll go in a couple of days, we'll be done, has just completely and utterly backfired, and now they're just focusing on one little area because that's all they can do. They can't do anything else.
Because they're trying to get all these little port towns so that they can get their supplies in. But at the end of the day, there's a lot of other stuff blocking the way anyway. So
yeah,
no chance.
Yeah, so I understand that they wanted to have it easy because during the winter time, everything freezes over, so they can't get ships in. So they wanted this alternate route to be able to get the ships in, which, okay, fair enough. That makes sense for your country to want that. But you don't do it the way that you've done it. You broker some kind of a deal with that country. We're like, hey, can we use this area for our ships? Can we use this port to get our supplies in that we need to get through winter? Because yours doesn't freeze over and ours does. If you do it diplomatically, the chances of Zelensky going, no, I want to kill you now, probably not going to happen. That's probably not going to be his reaction. Probably not. I could be wrong. I don't know him personally. Maybe that's just the kind of person that he is, and he'd be like, fuck you, Putin. But I doubt it. But I did hear that before all of this shit happened, Zelensky's popularity was down at like 30% or something. It was 70% when he got voted in, and just slowly been dropping since he's been there, and was down at like 30%. And since this has started, has obviously fucking skyrocketed, considering Biden said, okay, we'll come in and we'll take you out of Ukraine and you'll be safe in America. And he said, no, I'm staying here. I refuse to go anywhere. This is my country. I have a job to do. I refuse to leave. And I think that's huge.
He stayed with his people.
Yeah. And then even when all this propaganda about him leaving came out, they're like, oh no, he's actually left. He's not there anymore. He was like, he just walked out to the fucker at the door and went, no, I'm here. Look at where I am. You want to know where I am? This is where I am.
That's the really interesting thing about Zelensky is his arc was, he is a comedian and an actor, and he played the president of Ukraine in a comedy show, and then people saw that and saw his campaign and went, you know what, he actually seems like a legit guy. He has some good ideas, like he's anti-corruption, which they have a huge problem with, or had a huge problem with. And then after he came in, there was some nepotism from him. Like, he put friends and family into positions of power. But there's also the argument that he did that because he can't trust anyone else.
Yeah.
I don't know whether or not that's true or not, or how legit that is, but that is sort of where it was, and that's gradually his approval rating went down and down as certain things didn't happen, certain gaffes on his part, certain things that he did or said that were just outright perceived really negatively. But ultimately, you can't deny that he's clearly a patriot and clearly believes in at least doing his best and trying to improve the situation for his
Oh,
people in his country.
yeah, he is most definitely doing everything that he possibly can for his country to make it the best country that it can possibly be. Now, it'd be really bad to say that it's a perfect country because it is definitely not.
There's no such thing.
Yeah, and they are definitely far from being perfect.
We
But-
definitely can't cast any stones about corruption here.
Oh
in
no,
Australia.
no, oh no, definitely not. But hey, look, on the plus side, at least we don't have ScoMo anymore.
It's true.
He's not running our country, and we've got someone who is actually decent. Possibly.
We'll see.
Well, I mean, so far what he's done, he's even pulling up. I forget who it was. Someone called Peter Dutton Voldemort, and Peter Dutton, then, who is, for anyone listening who doesn't know who Peter Dutton is,
He looks like Voldemort.
Yeah,
He does.
But he's the leader of the opposition now. Now that ScoMo's gone, I think Dutton stepped up. But he then came out after this comment and said, "Look, I don't want to talk about it. But it's a skin condition. That's why it looks like this. I just don't talk about it because it's not important. I don't like it. I didn't choose it. It's just the way that it is." And Albo actually came out and said, "No, you need to go and apologize to him for that comment. That was uncalled for. There's no need for it."
I mean,
So the fact that he's calling out his own people, that's a good thing.
yeah,
Good
I mean,
start at least.
yeah, like, he looks like Voldemort. I'm sorry, but it's just true.
He does, yeah.
But
I'm not saying
you-
it was
you just don't-
factually incorrect.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But they, as politicians, they need to try and take the high ground because
Yeah,
the extreme right of our country sure as shit aren't.
yeah. And Albo also said that he'd rather argue the policy rather than arguing the person proposing the policy. And that's really good. That's what you want. You want to argue the policy rather than the person, which
Definitely.
that hasn't happened for years. It's been a very, very long time since that has actually happened. As I was talking to my old man about it yesterday. He said we're going back to old school politics.
Yeah.
Which is good. That's what it should be.
I mean, it hasn't even really been that long because the last time was when Kevin Rudd got voted in. That was a policy-based campaign.
Yeah. Was it Kevin 07?
Yeah.
And then he got stabbed in the back by Gillard. She jumped in. And then I'm pretty sure she got stabbed in the back by someone else. Was it Abbott? Maybe?
Abbott was Liberal, she was Labor. I think she
Labor.
just lost the election from memory.
Yeah.
It's hard to
I
keep
remember-
track of all that shit from that era.
Yeah. That era of politics, it was, yeah. There was a lot of chopping and changing happening in a very short amount of time. Like no PM could actually do anything for the country because they weren't there long enough. They got ousted.
I heard a thing. I haven't actually looked into it yet, but I
Yeah.
heard a thing the other day. Apparently, Gillard's government was the most productive government we've had in the last, 15 years or something.
Gillard.
Yeah.
Julia Gillard's government was the most productive.
As in Parliament sitting and doing their job. That was the most productive era in the last,
I mean, look, let's
15
be
years.
honest.
or something
It
like that.
wouldn't take much to beat ScoMo's government.
Or Abbott's.
Or Abbott, yeah. Yeah. Gee whiz. Far out. All
Yeah,
right.
Don't know how
well,
true it is, but
yeah, I mean, it is believable because we've had some absolute spuds recently.
yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
Yeah, I'm going to be nice about it and call them absolute spuds. So there we go. There's urban legends finishing on politics. Makes sense.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for listening. You can find us over on Instagram, Twitter. We are on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, Radio Public, Pandora, Pocket Cast, Castbox. I'm sure there's maybe some others I forget. There's too many, and I'm thinking of it off the top of my head. I'm not reading a script. I'm just saying them as I can think of them. So rate and review us everywhere. Jump on Spotify, give us that cheeky little 5-star. There's a couple of you that have. Nathan, thank you. I told you I'd mention you. Here's your mention. Nathan, who might be on an episode at some stage. He did ask if he could be on. I said yes.
I think that makes sense.
Yeah, he's a good guy. What else have we got? Tim, Vince, any final words before we skedaddle on out of here?
No, nothing from me.
Mr. Vince?
Yeah, nothing from me.
Oh, okay. Tim, it's good to have you here, finally, with no problems. Probably the smoothest episode we've
had. Phone to do it.
This has probably been the smoothest episode we've had thus far.
Oh,
not gonna lie.
Yep,
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah. Let's see if our next episode can go a lot smoother. Thank you everyone for joining us, and we will see you soon. Bye.
Bye.
All right. Well, it's 10:02. Are we ready?
Hold on.